skill that will be essential for most drivers, but many new drivers have very little experience of night driving before they pass their driving test. This often results in an inexperienced driver attempting to deal with the extra danger of night driving on their own. While only around a quarter of all driving is done at night, more than half of all accidents occur at night. The reduced visibility when light levels are low will make it much more difficult to spot hazards on the road ahead, reducing the time for decisions and leading to sudden braking or steering. This video will show you how to get ready for night driving and how to keep safe when driving in 3 scenarios: urban areas, country roads and major roads. Before we start driving at night, we should make sure the car is ready to go. The highway code says we need to turn on our lights between sunset and sunrise, so we should occasionally check the car's lights are clean and working properly. This should include the dipped and main beam headlamps, the rear lights, indicators and number plate lights. This is not only so we can see ahead, but also so that others can see us clearly. The headlamps are especially important to keep clean, as even a light film of dirt will reduce the light output significantly. Next, make sure the windscreen is clean, as any dirt will increase glare from oncoming vehicles. The car's screen wash function will usually clean the outside well enough. However, it's easy to forget about the inside, but it can get surprisingly grimy. If needed, use a window cleaning spray and a microfiber cloth for the best results. When driving in urban areas, we will need to drive with more caution than normal, as the dark can hide many dangers, such as pedestrians, cyclists with dark clothing, or even other cars that have forgotten to turn their lights on. If we spot a new hazard, we will usually have much less time to react than in the daylight, so we should keep our speed low when light levels are poor. This residential area has street lights and a 30 miles per hour limit, but we are travelling at around 20 miles per hour here, as it will give us more chance of avoiding a collision if someone else makes a mistake. We shouldn't think of the speed limit as a target to try and keep to. Instead, we should think of the limit as a potential maximum and drive at a speed that is safe for the conditions and potential hazard level. Many urban areas turn off street lighting late at night, so we will need to be especially careful when driving in these areas. There is one benefit to driving at night though, and this is that it is much easier to spot oncoming traffic. In urban areas, this makes it a little easier to drive around parked cars in narrow residential streets, as the glare from an approaching car can be seen easily, even from around the next bend. This will give us much more time to consider the best place to pass the oncoming car safely. Here we notice the child running along the pavement, and then check for traffic as we steer around this tight bend. However, in this case, the glare from the other car's headlamps makes its signal to turn right much harder to spot, so be careful. Here we are approaching a large junction, so we check behind for danger and then smoothly brake to a stop. When we are waiting in traffic, we should try not to keep our foot brake on longer than necessary, as our brake lights are very bright and could annoy the driver behind us. If we're on a hill or stationary for some time, just use the handbrake. Driving on country roads at night can be very dangerous as the roads are narrow, often have poor road markings and warning signs, and also sharp bends that can hide unexpected hazards. We need to drive at a speed that will give us time to react, as we never know what's around the next corner. To help us reduce this danger, we should always drive at a speed which will allow us to stop in the distance we can see to be clear. This will mean that we can safely drive faster when we can see a long way ahead, but when we can't see very far, we should slow down in case something is blocking the road just out of sight. We need to consider what could be around every bend and allow for it with our speed and road positioning. Try to imagine that there could be a bus driving towards us just around the next bend. To help look further ahead for these hazards, we should use our headlamp's main beam setting when possible, as the powerful beams will light up the road at least 100 metres ahead. Of course, our headlamps need to be switched back to dipped beams as soon as we spot another road user, as the main beam setting will dazzle others. Try to read the road ahead and anticipate potential hazards. There could be sharp bends, mud on the road, hidden dips, or even unusual road users such as cyclists or horses. Even if we know a road well, be careful as the conditions can be different every time. Driving at night will of course allow us to see oncoming vehicles well in advance, even around blind bends, which gives us plenty of warning to slow down when the road is narrow. If the lights on an oncoming vehicle are giving too much glare to see past clearly, we will need to slow down or even stop sometimes. Don't risk driving when blinded, as there could be an unseen hazard on the road that we could hit, such as a pedestrian or large pothole that might damage the car. Motorways and dual carriageways are normally the safest roads to drive on, as they are wide and relatively straight. However, when driving at night, this can be monotonous and lead to tiredness or even falling asleep. When making a long motorway journey, it's best to be well rested beforehand and make sure there is fresh air for the driver. We try to stop for a break from driving every 2 hours, as due to the high speed of motorway driving, accidents are often serious or fatal. However, if we feel tired during the journey, just leave the road at the next exit and find a safe place to rest. Drinking a coffee or energy drink and a short walk should wake the body up and allow us to drive again. If a following vehicle's lights are too bright, they may dazzle us through the centre mirror. To reduce this, we can use the small lever under the mirror to dim the view and reduce the glare. So remember to make sure your car is ready for the night, drive slowly if visibility is poor, use main beam when safe, and take regular breaks on long journeys. If you found this video interesting, then please click like and subscribe to our channel, as it really helps other people find our videos. Thanks for watching.